Class 12, we were doing this chapter Organizing in BST. I will be continuing from this part. Here today in the video I will be discussing what is the difference between formal and informal structure. Now you all know that there are so many business houses existing inside any economy, but they have their work done. How can so many people working under an organization can work without chaos and work or goal of the institution can be reached? Definitely some organizing has to be done, some arrangement has to be done, wherein everyone comes to know about their particular responsibility, about whom they will report, from where they will receive direction, and smoothly the work can continue fulfilling their own goals, personal goals, as well as fulfilling the goals of the organization. Now, in case of formal, the word formal means official. Now, official structure means here the job positions are dictated and fixed, decided by the management. That means who will be the boss, who will be the manager, who will be the team members for a particular job. All these are decided by the management or the decision making body inside the organization. Now just look into the board. There is a picture drawn. It is a hypothetical example. Let us state that there is one boss who is in the top level management. Now there are different types of work to be done inside the organization and it has to be managed properly. So there are 3 managers who are working under him, and to get the work done the manager needs a human support or human resources. So under him the team leader is there who will be heading the team, and the ABCD are the members doing a certain kind of job. Similarly, for some different kind of job, there is again a manager who is responsible to manage the entire work done by EFG. These are the team members, and there is one team leader also. Similarly, for the third work, HIJ are the team members. They have a team leader and the entire work is managed by manager 3 under the boss. So what can you see here? You can see that the boss is at the top level management. So those who are sitting in the top level management, they have their particular set of authority, particular set of responsibility, which is different from those who are in a different job position. Similarly, each of the managers will be having their own powers or authority as well as their responsibility. Team leaders have their own authority or power and the responsibility, and all the team members, they also have a certain responsibility and power. But the direction follows a scalar chain. Direction means who will direct. So the boss can direct the manager can direct the team leader, and the team leader can direct the team members. So direction flows from top to bottom. Similarly, if you see who is more powerful, of course those who are sitting in the highest job position, they are more powerful. So a boss intends to be more powerful than the manager, than the team leader, and then the team members. A manager is less powerful than boss but more powerful than the team leader and those who are placed lower than him in the job position. Similarly, a team leader has more power than those who are coming next, that is ABCD, the team members, but is less powerful than those who are placed higher in the job position. So power also moves from top to down. That means it reduces as we come from top job positions to the lower job positions. Then next comes reporting. So work is being done actually by ABCD, and they have to give the statement of the workflow or how the work is going to the team leader. The team leader has to give it to the manager, who will manage the entire work, and then the manager is ultimately responsible to report to the top boss how the organization work is going. So direction flows from top to down. We call this scalar chain, and reporting moves from bottom to top, and each job position have their particular set of power, particular set of responsibility, and we call this formal structure because who will be placed in what position, what will be their authority or power, what will be their responsibility towards work, who will direct whom, and who will have to report to whom. All these are laid down by the formal or official setup, which is fixed up by the management or decision making body. So now we are coming to the merits of this. What are the merits of this formal organization? Now when you already know, suppose ABCD are working as team members, they already know that their superior is the team leader. So whatever the team is working has to be reported first to the team leader, and then the team leader also knows he will not go to manager 2 or manager 3 who are managing a different type of work. He will obviously go to his manager who is entitled to manage this entire work. So each of them knows whom to report about the workflow. You of course report to the superiors, and each of them knows whom to direct. The manager 1 will not direct team leader 2 or team leader 3. He will direct team leader 1 because he is entitled to manage a particular kind of job which this team is doing. So he knows whom to direct. The team leader knows who are its members, who are entitled with that particular work, and he will direct. So everybody knows their superior subordinate relationship as it is well defined. So number 1 merit is the superior subordinate relationship is well defined. Now how is it useful? Now first of all, officially when the power and authority is given, now if you give everyone responsibility, that is you are entitled to work, and there is no power, obviously everybody will be reluctant to do that because they don't have any power. They are only responsible to do the work. So the management fixes particular set of responsibility with power for a certain job position, and each of them, when they have responsibility at the same time power, they are well recognized, they will try to work effectively. Moreover, this clear subordinate superior relationship avoids confusion at work. You all know that where you will report, and you all know that where direction has to be given. So it helps the organization to reach its goal without chaos. Obviously, every business wants to get its work done, and to achieve the goal smoothly is the kind of objective of every business. So this type of formal structure, if created by the management, it helps in accomplishment of goal easily, and it clearly describes superior subordinate roles. Now what is the difficulty or demerit of this organization? Now when the management decides who will be the boss, who will be the manager, team leader, of course he must be having a certain prerequisites. Maybe the educational qualification, maybe the skill set he has, maybe his working position in what was his working position prior joining this business house. So everything is used to determine the job positions, but they can be faulty at times. It might be so they have entitled a wrong work to a wrong person. Suppose manager 1 is given, suppose this team is handling the financial matters of the business, and this manager 1 is handling the financial matters of the business. But suppose he is not interested in it. His main interest is in human resource, that is to recruit people in the organization. So can he be an effective manager? Can he manage the work properly if he is not interested into? No. So what will happen here? It is impersonal. Impersonal means the management gives the responsibility and not according to the requirement of those people, not actually according to the type of work the human resources liking. The manager is making decision and they will not listen to the team leaders or team members or managers. And what will happen? If I don't judge what is your interest of work and I just impose a work on you, of course the productivity of the work will go down. So here the manager is impersonal. He does not takes into account the personal interest of the individuals in which field they want to work. It is the management who decides and the work is imposed on you. Imposition means they will not look at your interest and you are bound to work for the organization in whichever job position you have been entitled to. And this results in lack of creativity. When you are not allowed to work in your field of interest, you will never be creative and you will deliver poor results. So this is the thing. What are the merits? I am just recapping. Here there is lack of confusion because the superior subordinate relation is clearly defined. People know whom to direct and the ones who are sitting in the lower level management or in the working class, they know whom to report. And the business can accomplish its results quite accurately because the structure is formal or official. So everybody works according to the goal, meeting up the goals of the organization, and it also lacks delay. Now when you clearly don't know the subordinate superior relationship, it will lead to delay and chaos because you don't know whom to direct, or you don't know, you can see that if I direct, a certain work can be done, but if you direct, is he bound to listen? Because you might not be his superior boss, so he might reject your direction. Similarly, workflow is progressing, but there is a problem. So if the superiors are not known, A, B, C, D, whom they will report about the workflow. So it leads to chaos and delay, which can be avoided through this formal structure. And the demerit is the management decides everything about the responsibility and the role of your work, and it does not take into account the personal interest, so which results in less motivation and less productivity and lack of creativity. Now coming to the informal structure. Now informal structure, by it we mean unofficial or a friendly structure. Now this informal structure is not having any identity. Not having any identity means it does not come up on its own. You will see that in any organization a formal structure exists. Within this formal structure you will find an informal structure. For example, suppose the team leader have entitled a certain work to A, B, C, D. Now they are the team members and they are in the same job position. They all are team members. Now a friendly relation slowly develops between them and they try to take mutual consent of each other who will do what. Suppose a particular job B wants to do. So A will give the job to B and whatever it suits to him, and the rest of the job A will try to manage. Similarly, C might feel a certain job interests him. So what is happening here? The team leader gives a certain job, a task to be done by ABCD, and they, according to their mutual consent, they try to understand who is interested in what and do the work accordingly. So what happens over here? There is a formal structure. It is set by the management, but within that a friendly atmosphere is created and the work is getting done in a better way, because if you can share the work, if your team members can understand your interest, they are willing to understand your interest, then what will happen? They will be trying to giving you the work which best suits you. That will again initiate back your creativity and productivity. Similarly, suppose the team leaders, team leader 1, team leader 2 and team leader 3, they are in the same job position. Maybe they are doing a different type of work, but they are in the same job position. Similarly, managers are having a higher position than the team leader, but all the managers' position is same. So if they are friendly amongst themselves, they can share the task according to their own interest. So that is only informal structure. Now here the job position, the superior subordinate relation does not exist, but a friendly atmosphere exists. Here the leaders are not deliberately dictated by the management level or the formal structure, but here the leaders will come up. Suppose there are 4 team members and suppose a particular job is entitled which B is good at. So B will be leading the other team members. So out of friendly consent only the leader comes up. So it is not deliberately determined by the management level. Now in case of formal structure, suppose there is a like boss, manager, team leader and the team members. If anybody is at fault, if they are not properly doing their responsibility or not using their powers or authority, then they might be given a certain kind of punishment due to not following the rules of the management. But in case of informal structure where a friendly atmosphere exists, if you are at fault, people will disapprove you, but there will be no sorts of punishment given to you. Like if the particular task is taken up by B because it interests B and he was leading all of them, all of his team members, but suddenly B is unable to do the work. He has just taken up the work, but he was unable to accomplish it. So what will happen from the next time? Among this A, B, C, D, they will not decide to give the work to B because there is a mistrust developing. So there is just social disapproval, but there is no kind of punishment because the relation or leadership has developed in a friendly manner. So if you have to debunk leadership, you have to dismiss him, but there is no kind of punishment because the leader whom you have chosen was not deliberately done by the management, but it was according to the mutual or friendly consent between the team members. So, if you are asked what is the difference between formal and informal structure, what are you going to write? You have to write that formal structure is created by the management, whereas informal structure, it develops through mutual consent and it exists within the formal structure. So the business will not follow an informal structure. It will be formally setting up the job positions, and if the team members decide to develop a friendly relation, if the team leaders decide to have a friendly relation among them, it can happen. In formal structure, what happens? The superior subordinate relation is clearly known, which avoids confusion in the work. But in informal structure, there is no deliberate dictation who will be having what job. It develops through mutual consent. The leaders come from mutual consent, and you can debunk them or dismiss them, but you cannot punish them. Of course, if B, out of mutual consent, if B suppose takes a responsibility and if he fails to do his job, then A, C, D will not trust him from the next time. That is possible. But B cannot be punished because B was not entitled that job by the management level. If management level had given the job and if he dismissed that, then he has to be punished. But in formal structure, the most negative part is, since the job roles and the responsibilities are determined by the management or the decision making body without introspecting the personal interest, the people might lack their creativity and productivity. But in a friendly structure or informal structure that develops within an organization, people who are at the same level of job like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, if they are friendly, if the team leaders are friendly among themselves, then work can be shared, work can be done with more creativity, person can choose the work which he likes more, and what happens? It leads to creativity and more productivity.